Gurmahagut Karen Corla. I'm sharing time with our finance spokesperson, Deputy Jed Nash. He's going to take 4 minutes. At the outset, I want to acknowledge the utterly tragic news from Louth at the weekend. 5 young lives lost horrifically on our roads. I express my deepest sympathies to their families and communities on behalf of the Labour Party. Count Corla, today's shock announcement by Minister Paschal Donohoe, and I think the Taoiseach used the word shock. It certainly is a shock to us. It clearly was a shock to you as well. This underscores the crisis at the heart of this government. On a personal level and on behalf of Labour, I want to wish Deputy Donohoe very well in his new role. I want to wish you and your family well as you go to the World Bank. I hope you'll still find the time to continue writing your book reviews, Paschal. Similarly, on a personal level, I want to send my best wishes to the newly reshuffled Ministers Harris and McEntee and to Minister Naughton, and of course also to Ministers Higgins and Feehan on your elevations. And I do welcome the fact that we will now see more women in Cabinet. I welcome the fact that for the first time in Irish history we're going to have a woman in Foreign Affairs. I think that's very welcome. However, Deputy Donohoe's announcement today indicates an abject lack of direction from government. At less than a year in office, it shows you have no coherent programme of policies for the future. Indeed, Taoiseach, it seems you've no confidence, not even in yourselves. And there's no other way to describe so sudden a departure of such a senior cabinet member less than a year after government formation. It's a clear expression of lack of confidence. It demonstrates a crisis of confidence. Earlier this year, I remarked that you'd become a very tetchy Taoiseach. I think you're now being joined by a rather twitchy Taoiseach and indeed a fleeing finance minister. And can I say this?
Leave it to me, boss.
Hat trick. I'm doing a Troy Parrott. Hat trick. Hat trick. Insecurity and instability. On a serious note, insecurity and instability now lie at the heart of the financial engine of the state and at the heart of this government in general. And that matters because a government that lacks stability cannot offer hope. And all of us feel the need for hope among the people and the communities we represent. People who feel the reality of the housing crisis, the sharp end of the cost of living crisis, people with less money in their bank accounts at the end of the week and at the end of the month, with bills rising, grocery bills, energy bills, insurance, rent and mortgage costs, and thousands of families driven into debt, another generation of young adults facing emigration, thousands of children on waiting lists, Taoiseach, 300,000 households in arrears on electricity bills, a government of failure that has no answers. You'd no answers from your inception and you've no answers now. A lastminute.com change of personnel does not provide new answers. You have a Conservative coalition, cobbled together in 3 parts. 2 Civil War enemies, uneasily united, relics of a bygone era. And the third leg, made up of the so-called independents, the Western Alliance, a Lowry leg of this wobbly stool, uneasily united by Michael Lowry, a man found to be corrupt by a tribunal, who literally gave 2 fingers to the Dáil. And indeed, this reshuffle brings back all those rather bad memories, I think, for all of us, of that unedifying spectacle. Your government represents the politics of the past, and the politics of the past can't offer hope to hard-pressed households. And we saw that in the October budget, a gift to burger barons and big builders, as Deputy Nash said. Reckless tax cuts, massive giveaways to corporate chains, nothing for working families. We need an alternative politics that delivers massive state-led investment. And the Labour Party mission is for an active state. That's why we believe we need a left-led government. And indeed, we saw a real appetite for that sort of alternative politics, that sort of alternative Ireland, in the landslide win just 2.5 weeks ago by Catherine Connolly in the presidential election. In her campaign, she united the parties of the left and other parties too, people who see the need for an alternative vision, for an active state that can provide for those in need, that can build homes, tackle the cost of living crisis and provide public services and those climate action measures that seem to have slipped off this government's agenda but are so patently necessary to secure the future for our children and grandchildren. Taoiseach, this resignation takes place at a very challenging time. There's ongoing uncertainty, Trump's tariffs and his trade tantrums, and a winter of rising bills and stagnating wages ahead of us. And that's why we need a strong and secure programme for change, a programme that will guarantee greater security to households, secure lives and livelihoods. And changing the names on the doors in government buildings will not provide that security or that hope for the future. Your coalition, it seems, will continue to govern with an approach that smacks of more of the same. Maybe Minister McEntee will finally pass the Occupied Territories Bill in full by Christmas, as we in opposition have been pressing for you to do. Maybe Minister Naughton will address the scandal of the thousands of children waiting for assessments of needs, waiting for school places, the lack of places for autism services, all of those issues that Cara Darmody and others have been bringing up so frequently, Minister. But look, what we saw last week in the housing plan was more of the same, so-called new housing plan, nothing more than old milk in new bottles, and so little hope for those locked out of home ownership, a locked out generation being told to hang in there at the same time when they see annual housing targets simply removed from the plan, at a time when we see 5,000 children in homelessness, a national disgrace. So, to conclude, Taoiseach, we need to see more than a change of personnel. We need to see a change of government. We need a left-led government, because only such a government can deliver the hope and the security that families, that households, that communities around the country are so badly needing and so badly looking for. We wish the individual ministers well in your new roles, but we cannot have hope that you will offer any sort of security with your government for the future.
Nash.
Thanks.